Welcome to Wild Sun Tarot. This is your monthly reading for the zodiac sign of Scorpio. I welcome all Scorpios, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Today we want to check up on your energy for the future month, for the month of September. We will start by looking at the past energy, then the current one, and the future. We'll split through love or connections, relationships, money, your material status, and yourself, okay? So let's go into it. What's happening for Scorpio? What's been happening for Scorpio? Okay, we have already a few messages. Oh my God, instantly with this blue color, I feel like some of you Scorpio are very emotional at this period of time. You're a zodiac sign of the element of water, so you do tend to feel quite a lot and you know, go process your emotions often. But we have swords and the judgment in the reverse. Okay, so in your recent past, it feels like there were need for some answers. There may have been some harsh words being said with the Five of Swords. You may have had recently an argument. It feels like someone is either speaking the truth you don't like, or you are waiting for them to voice out the truth because you feel like something is not being addressed. Wow, very powerful recent past. Okay. So with Ace of Swords, I feel like there's a need for communicating something. So either you have to say something out loud finally, or the other person has to. But either you or them, and it doesn't have to be romantically. It can be like in any connection you have. They're afraid to tell you something because they know it may cause an argument, or it has already caused an argument. Okay, in the past, that's why they were afraid to speak up to you. And I feel like whatever this argument is that you're having with someone, or misagreement, or like the missing words that are not being said, the truth that is not being addressed, this is causing you to like not see the situation for what it really is. You know, it's this type of cases where like on one side you want the truth, you want it to be out there. On the other, you know that the truth may make you see things you didn't saw, maybe realize that you're being manipulated in this connection, or that you're no longer aligned with this relationship, a partnership, whatever that is. Wow, very harsh energy in the past. So yeah, I see an argument, or maybe coming up to an argument, not saying something. It can go both ways, okay? So for some of you, maybe someone said something and it got into an argument, and it's hard for you to like not react to this argument, but you're kind of pretending that you don't see what this argument revealed. And for others of you, there was no argument, but you felt like there should be one because someone, you needed the truth. You wanted to say the truth, or someone you wanted to tell them for them to tell you the truth, right? Give you a message, give you a sign. Why I feel that for some of you it wasn't spoken, because this Five of Swords here is in reverse. I feel like this is like argument that is not being addressed, you know, like maybe you feel the energy shifted, but no one is speaking up, right? And the Judgment in the reverse, it's strongly showing me that you know that this changes stuff, that this situation, this truth, this message, this argument is changing the reality of this partnership, maybe for bad, maybe for good, I don't know, but it's no longer what it was, and you start to realize it. And wow, and that's a lot. That's a lot, Scorpio. Okay, let's see what it brought you. Okay, so this is recent past. Let's see where you are currently with what happened here. Surprisingly, like if I were supposed to attach a feeling to this, because when it fell down, I felt immediate sadness. It wasn't like anger of the argument, It was like sadness, but it wasn't like heartbroken. It was more like something you felt for a long time, and it's almost like an acceptance, or like realization of your feelings, like your feelings finally manifested outside in a way. Like this is not that surprising for you, okay? So I felt this sadness that it's being like already like processed, you know, in a way. It doesn't make it less sad, but it just makes it less like chaotic. It's less sudden, right? Because you already been there in those feelings for some time. Okay, let's see where you're currently at, Scorpio. Your reading, Scorpios, they're always so dramatic, so emotional. Okay, the Empress in the reversed, Six of Wands in the reversed, and we have, oh, got it. The Lovers in the reverse. Damn. Ten of Swords on the bottom of deck. Okay, so it may be that for some of you, this connection, partnership is ending, okay? Or it's realigning. Like, end doesn't mean complete heartbreak. It means that maybe there is a decision to transform this situation, okay? Because the Lovers are here in the reverse, honestly, I mean, it can be an ending. But for majority of you, there is a decision that needs to be made regarding what happened in the past. So you understand something, okay? You understood something. There was so much message, even if not physical, then underlying message subconsciously. You got to know something, and I feel like it makes you feel how maybe how uneven this connection is. That someone is being putting themselves more into the role of the leader, of someone who's important. Like it feels like there's a lot of ego here, okay? And it can be you, it can be the other person. It doesn't have to be romantic, it can be. Just because the Lovers are here doesn't mean it's romantic, okay? It can be work relationship where someone is not valuing you and you're just not important. With the Empress and the Six of Wands in the reverse, this is an energy of, it's a very selfish, narcissistic energy. It's a even though I don't like this word narcissist because it's more serious, right? Narcissism. But here, the Emperor, it's someone who will not let you speak, and he doesn't really care for you or for his the empire. He cares about him, and it's about him having the right to rule and to make rules and to decide. He needs to be praised. So yeah, narcissistic energy. So it can be the person you're connecting with, okay, had an argument. Maybe you voiced out these issues and the person just, manipulated you and turn it back on you. And then, the judgment says here that you're realizing something. And for majority of you Scorpions, you're realizing that you're not as important as the other energy. Or maybe that you are a bit too, because it can go both ways, right? You can be the less healthy energy. So you may be the one who is not considering the other person, right? And it's being very much in their egos and needing to praise himself, okay? For now, I just see like majority of this second energy, the energy of the ego, of needing to be praised just because you exist. The Lovers in the reverse, it talks mostly about the choice for me, okay? So you need to make a choice if right now you're in an energy, currently energy for September, you're making a choice. You're making a choice maybe to change, right? Maybe to finally put yourself or confront this person, the Emperor, maybe to completely end this partnership, right? But because the Lovers in the reverse is that, I get two messages. For some of you, you're really hesitant to make that choice, right? You're trying to pretend you don't see what's happening. You're really trying to pretend you don't see what's happening. For others of you, you know very well that this person manipulates you, and you don't feel like you're strong enough to let them stop, to take your own part, like ownership of the situation, and you continue to let this person manipulate you. It's always both two sides, right? Like it's not like the other person closed you in the basement and you can escape, like you could, but in a way you're trapped here. And I say trapped because the Judgment and the Swords, it's very bad energy, and you realizing something about your situation here in the recent past, but in the current energy, the energy of that person being important and taking charge and having the ownership of this connection is so powerful that it makes you go back to like not realizing, not seeing what is happening, right? I'm thinking with Six of Wands in the reverse, it's also a very insecure energy. So it may be that one person is taking charge and they kind of create your whole reality for you, and the other person is very insecure, so they don't know how to get out of it. But it might as well be the same energy. So the Emperor and Six of Wands can be the same energy for someone who needs to take charge, who needs to have control over you because they're insecure that if they don't, this may end, right? That doesn't justify them, okay? I'm just trying to read the energy to show you better what's happening. So it can be that someone is insecure, but then again, like if this is that other person or you, it will be very hard, almost impossible, and maybe very unhealthy to continue on this partnership the way you did, okay? So there needs to be decision in the current position being made. I don't know if you're making it. Yeah, let's continue with, let's look out for the future. Okay, oops, careful the part. Okay, we have King of Pentacles. You know, it's funny because I just thought about those of you who maybe it is not about partnership, but we will get into that, okay? The main story here is for sure about some partnership, some people arguing. The Strength in the reverse and the Death. Wow. Well, the Death is your card, Scorpio. It's a card that speaks about transformation, right? With the Strength in the reverse and Death in the reverse, and before the Lovers in the reverse, I feel like you really, and the Judgment in the reverse. Oh my God, look at this story. This is like this. This is denial. This is not wanting to make a decision, and this is knowing that something is already died. Okay, like died in a metaphorical sense, right? Like something ended without even you making a decision, and you knew it's coming, but you still like pretend it doesn't happen. Even in the future, it feels like with the Strength and the Death, you're trying to deny yourself some sort of ending or transformation because you feel like you're not strong enough. Maybe for some of you, you don't have, maybe you're dependent on the other person or a job financially, so you just don't feel like it's possible to change this situation because this is your source of literal stability in a way, okay? But yeah, that's what it is. And in the future, what's worrying me in a little bit is that, Scorpio, you're denying yourself this transformation to move forward, to change, right? The Death card speaks about us knowing that we need to evolve, that this is not working for us, whatever the situation is, right? But in the reverse, it feels like you're pretending it's not happening. It's kind of like what you did in the recent past. But what's the difference between those two cards is that the Judgment is just a voice. So in the past, it was just a voice. It was a feeling. It was a sense. You got, a glimpse that something is not working. But when you look at the future, the Death card is telling you like, this is not working. Like there's no pretending anymore. Everyone around knows, the other person know. Maybe it's even spoken about in the current position, but no one is doing anything with it. And it's like holding on to something that is no longer there, right? The Death, it's over. And it doesn't have to be bad. It needs transformation. This is like the world, ancestors, universe protecting you on your way because you need to move, right? So the Strength card here, it may come from this Six of Wands, so from this insecurity, right? That you're in a way dependent on the other person, right? And that's a very hard position to be in. And I can see it in the future that, yeah, with the King of Pentacles, although he's here in the upright position, with these cards next to him, I feel like this speaks about like your fantasy version of the stability with that person, with that current energy that you cannot really leave because then you would be with nothing. But sometimes we do need to be with nothing because this is not worth all the other misery that is combined with this King of Pentacles here, okay? For others of you, and this is just a small portion, it may be that this is actually a different energy that it's coming in because it's very different from all the other cards, okay? So really, it's very, very different. So for some of you, it feels like it's an outside energy, okay? So it's like an energy of maybe you being promoted or you getting more finance suddenly. I don't know, maybe it's a family member who's coming there to help you with your stability. Maybe it's a friend, maybe it's a new lover, whoever. And it feels like that may push you right? To separate from this, to change this. With the death in the reverse, I feel like you're still like on the fence. So even though there's help, like you don't feel like you really want to take it in a way. Yeah, but it may be also for some of you, it may be that this person is in control of your finances, and maybe the truth is that you know, you don't have to be dependent on the person. Okay, so maybe this is, you know, the person that is taking your material stability, your money, and in reality you can just take it on your own. You just have to be brave enough to do it, right? Brave enough to put yourself first and not the other person, because that energy that you see currently, it's an energy of someone who is he needs or she needs this control, because there's nothing else that person really has. So they need to abuse you in that way because they know that you could leave, right? But you don't know that because you feel like you're insecure here, right? It can be reversed. Remember, always the energy can be reversed, but that's the energy that's coming up here. Damn. Okay, let's take a look into what it is, if it's a connection, love connection, or you know, romantic or family member, stuff like that. Then let's see if it's your money situation, maybe a situation if you're in your work environment. And let's see your yourself, your mental health, how you doing with your physical health as well. Or your subconscious, how this helps you grow. Let's see these 3 different messages. Very strong reading, Scorpio, because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 major arcanas, okay, in 9 cards. It feels like this will be an intense month for you, okay? Very intense. Yeah, okay. Wow, so many swords. There's so many words that wants to be said here, or there may a lot of arguments coming up, or already been in the past year. Okay, with 9 of Swords regarding relationships. So this is for sure something that is constantly on your mind, right? You cannot stop thinking about it. You overthink about it. You are maybe confused, conflicted on how you feel and how you think this should go, right? Because you may have a lot of love towards this individual, but it does seem like it's constantly there's fights, constantly there's misunderstanding. You're tired. It can give you anxiety even with this card, with the 9 of Swords. So what I see is that this is something needs to be resolved, and it needs to be resolved very much from you have to take care of yourself, okay? So this is the time when you don't necessarily go and try to convince the other person or like tell them how they should navigate the conversation. You should really protect your boundaries, because this doesn't look like someone who you just have a little argument with and you need to find a better way to communicate. No, this seems like someone who really is not good for you at this moment, okay? And you know that. Like, I don't feel like this is something I have to tell you, because through these cards I see you know that, okay? That in a big portion this person is not being good, not because they're a bad human being, but just because they just can't. They're in their own way, right? So maybe they can change, but you cannot help them, okay? This is not the case where you go and you try to talk with them. No, this is the case when you start making boundaries and decisions for yourself, especially if this person is in some way dependent from you financially, or you are from them. This is the time to focus on yourself and transform, okay? Maybe they will step up, maybe they will, but if they don't, this is not your side to worry. Like, this is not your case, okay? You've realized something. I don't know what that is with the Judgment card exactly, but you know, and if you avoid this truth, like here we see a bit in the future, this will come back stronger, okay? At some point, stronger and worse for you in a way. It's always like this. These cards don't lead to happy ending if you don't make a change. So that's regarding any relationships, okay? So there's a big power struggle here, and need for control. So someone needs to control you financially. It can be like a parent as well, like a parent that feels like you own them something, you know, that could also like connect to this feeling of insecurity, like, well, because this is my parent, I need to always help them, or any other family member, but like parent is, or someone who protects you, that really give that bond. But yeah, enough is enough, and then there's a need for choice today or tomorrow or this month to make, okay, soon, because it's already past the deadline, let's say, with the Lovers in the reverse. Okay, we have Nine of Wands for the career and the material. Okay, so even though I feel like this reading is mostly regarding a partnership, okay, it can be that in your work you have someone who doesn't give you any space to glory, to grow, to make decisions. So there's someone who doesn't want to hear your opinion, okay, and it can be very frustrating. It feels like this is a place you like, so you have a passion for what you do. With the Knight of Wands, maybe you know, you want to take more action, you want to be more independent, you want to show your ideas, and there's someone who's really not giving you that opportunity. Okay, can be a boss, can be a manager, can be a colleague even, but I feel like this is someone who in theory may have more power than you. Okay, in practice maybe not, because again it can be a colleague who thinks they have more power, right? Because the emperor is here in the reverse, so they don't let you take credit for what you do. Maybe sometimes they even take credit for what you do. Okay, maybe that was the recent argument about that. You've noticed that whatever you have an idea, they take it, they make it their own, and then you're left with nothing, right? You're not being praised for your achievements. So what I see is that again, this needs to be a decision to make. If this can continue like that, you have to make your boundary, right? Step yourself. And you know, sometimes we can, because it can be someone who's above you, right? So you may be scared to do so, but it feels like no one else will fight for what is yours. So you need to really you know, in some way show that this is your work. So maybe, you know, there's ways, like you can sign it next time you're doing it. Maybe you don't have to share the ideas exactly with that person. Maybe you can have witnesses who will support you on that idea, right? There needs to be a way you show the other person that you matter and that you want to get a recognition for what you're doing, right? And if not, maybe it's a decision to go away, to change, right? To transform to a different position, to a different job. Maybe for some of you that's the case, okay? Nonetheless, in the future, I really want to stick to this King of Pentacles, because it's actually one of the most positive cards here. You are able to put yourself first and manage your stability in a sense of work, like make this about you, okay? But you need to gain a little bit more confidence that this period, this situation needs to transform. It cannot stay that way, okay? If it will, then the money will not come, okay? This won't change, because you need to show. Maybe even someone like above is waiting for you to really show yourself, right? You need to unfortunately fight for what you want. Not everything is very fair in life, and this is one of those cases when you need to really step out and hear and speak up, okay? So yeah, because with the Knight of Wands, you do have a lot of ideas. You are very like passionate about this work. So it's time to do so. Last but not least, we have Eight of Swords in the reverse. It's kind of like all of it, because again we have swords and we have you feeling trapped. So maybe mentally or even physically you feel like, you know, there's not been a lot of movement you could have made. Maybe for some of you it's just simple, try to take a break from also this, like is it a connection, is it the work situation? Try to find more ways to like stretch, you see, because this person on the traditional painting is also very much like, you know, trapped. So maybe it's time to go out more, okay? Like, you know, do some exercise outside, go near the water, go hiking, do some exercises outside. Maybe that will also help you clear your mind. And that also are things, when we do them alone, that show us the capability that we have in our body, and very often that transform into, like, for example, this work situation, right? Or the situation with your partner. Like when you feel you have control over your body, your mind, it's easier to have control over your life outside as well, okay? So that for some of you. For others of you, this also speaks about you being very, very conflicted, that this situation, whether it's about work, whether it's about partnership, is out of your like you can do anything about it, like it's out of possibility to do something, right? Hence we have the Lovers in the reverse and the Death in the reverse, and the Eight of Swords is just telling you like, oh, you're not possible. But this card is tricky. This card there's always like some opening that you see, but this person needs to be brave enough, right? Needs to understand that there is a way out. It's just not an easy one, okay? It's not an obvious one, but you're not without a way out. So what you need here is a little bit more confidence, okay? So usually the confidence is built, once again, like as I told you, like when you see that you can do something, right? Even a simple, more harder exercise, and then you do it, or maybe you stand up to someone you love, who you know you're protected with, and you do it, and you see, oh, that works. So then you're stepping up to these other connections, right? Strangely, I feel like this is something you need to do alone. Like I don't see any other third parties that much. Well, this King of Pentacles here a little bit, maybe financially, but overall, I feel like this is something you need to be brave enough, because if someone came today and wanted to help you, either in work situation or this love situation, you wouldn't take that help. This is something you need to do for yourself. You need to do it for yourself, so you can show yourself that you can count on you. Okay, no one here can help you actually in this. Let's see last advice, and then we will go to some oracle messages. The moon. Yeah, wow. Oh my god. And look, on this tarot deck we have the story. I forgot how it's called in English, but you know the story. It's about the girl who's, right, the girl who's going to visit her grandma, and guess what, she's alone, and she needs to realize what is happening, right? Who is wearing a false mask, who is not trying to help her, and that she needs to depend on herself, right? In this story there's not much help she's getting, maybe some intuition, right? Some characters are there to just give her like a slight a clue, but in the end she needs to help herself. And that's exactly what I just said. You need to with the moon, it's also understanding the underlying lies. So like you need to really understand what is your truth and what you want your life to be. Do you want your life to be the same way as this with this conflict, or do you want to change it because there's no help coming in? And frankly, it's actually very good, because when you help yourself, you will see how powerful that is. Okay, so this is kind of what you need to do at the moment. The moon card, you need to be honest, be very, very, very honest with yourself, and expect the same from others. And if they don't want to play the honest game, either at work, in work or in a relationship, you have to decide what to do, what is best for you. Okay, and look, we have the sun, the moon and the sun, the reverse. Yeah, there is some truth that is recently being spoken, but yeah, it needs to be even more. Okay, you need to step it up to that truth. And we have actually soon we have the full moon, and this will be a powerful with the eclipse. So there's a even more power to really see our life, the reality of our life for what it is, and make some huge changes. It's a very powerful energy. Especially a Scorpio for you, the Virgo, Gemini, and Pisces. Yeah. Okay, so let's see some additional message from the moon. New moon in Aries. It's time to take action. Yeah, basically. Yeah, exactly. It's time to take action. And you have to take that action. There's nothing more I can say here. It's time to take action. Especially when you see this chain again, the judgment, the lovers in the reverse, and the death. It's time to make action. You've been waiting and seeing how this thing comes up. You've been thinking about it, and now it's time to act. Okay, let's see one more. We have cracked open, rock bottom, surrender to the alchemy of life. Okay, guys, don't be worried with the rock bottom. But basically it says no more like way to hide this. You know the truth. There's no way you can still pretend in front of yourself that this is not what is happening here. It's cracked open. And it's either you take action or you stay in this misery, and you won't be able to lie anymore. People will see it as well. You will see it. So time to move. Scorpio, very intense month, okay? I believe you can do it because I know that, very often your sign is also about all the transformation, a very dark energy, and Scorpios can take a lot, but when it's cracked open, when it's there, that's over, right? So it's time to take an action with the moon, okay? I feel like recent month reading was similar. Like there was also like some misunderstanding, but this is a bit more serious. So I hope you will protect yourself and take care of yourself, okay? This will be very intense month for you, so take it easy on yourself, okay? Again, move a little bit more than usual, so do any type of exercise to release the stress, and stand up for yourself because you have that power to do so, okay? So thank you so much for today's reading, and I hope you will have a great September. If you want to have a personal reading with me, you can email me or comment down below. If you enjoyed the reading, you can give me a like or subscribe, and I will see you in the next month for the next reading. Thank you so much. Have a great month. Bye bye.